Very good. Thank you. Very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. I feel very fortunate and very blessed that in the local area we have a guide that works with non-physical consciousness that is helping us become more present. And one of the things we're focusing on right now is the idea of acceptance and the art of acceptance, or the embrace of acceptance.
Of self?
Of self, yes. Of self, and also of what shows up in our awareness. That the things that show up in our awareness are what is, and that a lot of times it's our filters that then filter through what is actually happening. And my question is, I'd like your perspective on the concept of the embrace of acceptance.
Well, when you said acceptance, we wanted to put the word feeling worthy, because we would like everyone to be accepting of all of the well wishes and positive intentionality that we are all flowing toward all of you. Source is projecting well-being and specific ways in which you can experience it in an amplified way, moment by moment. And we can't think of anything more wonderful than you being in that receptive mode. So we've been calling it the art of allowing. Now we're calling it the receiving mode. You could call it the accepting mode, but we want to be clear about what it is we want you to accept. We want you to accept that well-being abounds. We don't want you to spend too much time accepting conditions that are not wanted, and therefore practice a vibration of something not wanted, and therefore introducing resistance to something wanted. But of course, there isn't anything more important than for you to accept all of the blessings and non-physical assistance and understanding that is flowing to you at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Yes, I understand that.
And the filters that you're talking about, if we were going to use the word filter, the way we would use it in our frame of reference is that the well-being is being flowed to you, but sometimes you've got your umbrella up and you're blocking the signal, so you're not receiving it, you're not accepting it, even though it is there for you. It's one of the things about a room full of people like you who are teachers and uplifters. You so care about being of advantage to everyone. Yesterday, Esther, it was such an interesting day because for whatever reason, she kept being in a place where she could help someone with something. A man who was blind was seated next to her as she was waiting in the area. So they had a short conversation about things. And then later, a man wanted to sit with his daughter, and Esther did a little switch changing to make that a possible thing. And then she's walking through the terminal, and a woman dropped her ticket that talked about her baggage claim. And then another man dropped his jacket, and Esther thought, okay, I like being helpful. I really do. I really do like being helpful. And it was clear to her that in her enjoyment of being helpful, that everyone in the terminal who could use a little help was finding their way into Esther's experience. Because what you've got going on vibrationally is what's always coming to you. And so when you get on a vibrational jag, so to speak, when you've got some momentum going relative to something, the universe just continues to show you how you're going. And so one of the things that we've noticed about a room full of people like all of you is that in your desire to be helpful, sometimes you forget that the people that you want to help are being flowed to by non-physical. Sometimes a healer will believe, well, I need to get in the middle of that so that I can take the energy of healing and get it in there, because I'm a healer, so I'll take the energy and I'll get it in there. Well, sometimes you are an advantage because you may be able to do something to soften the resistance that someone else is having about something, because if they didn't have their filter up and if they weren't blocking the well-being that is flowing, they would be receiving it. So is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Or in talking with other people about belief systems, somehow belief systems that we have that, before you're talking more of a positive aspect, but also the belief systems that we have that we've thought about.
If you're really wanting to be an uplifter to others, and let's say there's someone who you know has a belief that isn't helping them, a far bigger consideration is your belief that they have a belief that isn't helping them.
Right.
Because as long as you believe that they have beliefs that aren't helping them, then you can't help them either.
Right. I see that.
And law of attraction is organizing through their path of least resistance those helpers along the way that will help them to discover what it is that will be beneficial for them in the moment. Right. What Source is always doing is looking for the potential for the greatest receptive mode. And sometimes you are the messenger who carries the information that they are now known by their inner being to be more receptive of. Esther has been watching the political debates. Dum dum dum. Devouring them, really. Just really enjoying. And the reason that she's enjoying them so much is because when the candidates were presented, without any fanfare, Esther acknowledged that she had opinions about each of them. So the reason that she's enjoying watching the debates is because she's wanting to know if they might present something to her that she could receive a different impression of them. And it's shocking to her how many brilliant people are on those stages. It's also interesting to her how many of them aren't thinking. So the point that we're making here, as you all groan about the idea of it, is that Esther realizes that she had an opinion about that one, but when she really listens to what he has to say, her opinion has to give way to the reality of what she's hearing from him.
Right.
And she doesn't want to be someone that just puts someone in a basket because of a label. She wants to hear. She wants to hear what they have to say. And then we say to her, Esther, you can't even hear what they have to say through your filters or belief prejudices. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?
Very.
So that's why we're saying there really isn't much value in trying to figure out what anybody believes. The only thing that is important to you is you reconciling your perspective from that of your inner being.
Okay.
So Esther says to us, so Abraham, who would you choose? Who would you choose? And she didn't like our answer. When we say there isn't one of them that doesn't have enough to give to be successful. Seriously? Seriously? But I know this and 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 this about that and that and that and that and that and that and that, which makes me not expect that. And we say, yeah, we don't do that. Wouldn't it be a wonderful experience? Wouldn't Congress, wouldn't politics be a wonderful thing if a group of people could come together with their multitude of talents and their talents could be allowed to surface? Well, we don't want you to worry about it because that's what's really happening globally. That's really what's happening on a day-to-day basis with law of attraction. That's really what's happening to all of you. You are casting your vote about everything vibrationally. It doesn't matter what political party or persuasion you are a part of, and it doesn't matter even what words you speak about it. You are casting all of your votes about everything that has anything to do with you vibrationally, you see. And the better you feel, the better the candidates of the world that are swarming around you, participating with you, will be able to interact with you in a way that is satisfying, pleasant, even joyful, you see. Helpful?
Very much so. Thank you.